Happy Tuesday, traders. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon from all of those who are watching from around the world. We do have a pretty global audience in the Cryptosomniac community, so I just wanted to welcome everyone. Going through the BTC analysis today, we've got a lot to talk about. We'll go through the shorter time frames here first, and then go through the higher time frames. We're going to be talking about what the final targets are for BTC in this big parabolic move that we're seeing since the beginning of April. We're also going to be talking about when is alt season, if there is going to be one. And I wanted to talk about the fake volume that is prevalent in the crypto space and on many exchanges. Okay, so first things first, we have the 1 hour chart on BTC pulled up here. 2 days ago, we saw this big spike here in price action. Price was actually being held down in this big sort of pennant right here that was forming in this big bull flag. Resistance was right around $8,300, and it took less than about, I would say, 6 to 9 days to get through this entire resistance block right here, okay, of $8,300. So once we rip through that, we're sort of consolidating and creating a bull pennant, kind of like we did with this large bull pennant right here. Okay, so this mini one right here is being created right now. And for this, remember the way we measure targets for bull flags is we take the size of the pulls. So we'll take it from this bottom green candle where the move started. So it started around about 8,000 all the way to 8,900. So we'll just move this up here. Say we break out tomorrow. That comes out to about $9,700 to $9,800, as you can see. Somewhere around that area, okay? So that will be an interesting move to keep in mind. For now, though, all I really see is price action sort of moving in this descending parallel channel, this falling wedge, all of which I hope will break through over the next maybe 24 hours or so. I had stated that there is a possibility that price action could be brought down to maybe the 618 Fibonacci level, which is also coincidentally the $8,300 resistance area right here. So if we map out a fib from this bottom right here to this top of the spike that we had, the 618 Fibonacci lines up with this block right here, which is also the top of this resistance, 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3 resistance, right? And that also, surprisingly, coincides with this touch of this trend line right here, point number 2, point number 3, and it'll be point number 4 right there, okay? So you can see that if price does fall with a quick spike like it did back here, okay, I would not be surprised if it gets bought up in this region right here. Okay, so in case you have taken some profit up here and you want to buy the dip, I would be targeting this area. Okay, just something to keep in mind. All right, so 4 hour time frame still looks decent. Daily, as you can see, we've basically had 2 days of consolidating. Nothing really special here. But if we start dialing back on the daily, we see that this big bull flag target over here maps out to the size of this pole as around 11,200, maybe even as high as 11,700. Okay, so you could see that this is a very small picture in this big, larger picture context of what's happening in this big bullish move. All right, and this little flag right here is an even smaller picture in what's happening over here. Okay, you can see that since this big spike up in April, beginning of April, we've essentially been moving in a parabolic fashion. You're probably wondering, what exactly is a parabolic fashion? Well, it's movement that essentially rounds off something like this. It looks like a big roller coaster that essentially just goes straight up. And you may be familiar with it because that's what we saw over here in the 2017 bull market, right? So we came down, moved sideways, consolidated, pulled back, moved up again, pull back a little bit, retrace, and then boom, here's that big parabolic move where we went from $5,800 all the way to $20,000 in the blink of an eye. All right, so that is essentially where we are right now. Okay, we are essentially on the path of a big parabolic move. Where it ends, that's kind of up in the air, but like I stated, we have some 10 to 12K targets, and I'll review those again. Okay, but first, let's sort of go over the stochastics and the indicators that represent the overbought and oversold levels. Okay, first being the RSI. This one, obviously, we can see that it is just a hair under the overbought levels. All right, for the most part, the RSI has not really tamed BTC to pull back down into the oversold territories. Since it sort of had its first spike here in April, it's essentially like to hover above the 55-point average right here. And it's kept going into overbought every single time. So we may actually pull back to 55 again at some point and then head back up again. But if we start doing the wave counts, okay, let's do this. I'm going to close out the SRSI and RSI, and we're going to do some wave counts, all right? So Elliott waves move in an impulsive fashion. First wave is usually the wave that's not really known that it's going to be part of a larger 5-wave count. By the way, guys, if you want to review Elliott waves, just go to my YouTube channel, Cryptosomniac, and click on the Elliott wave tutorial. And I talk about how to be able to trade Elliott waves, how to understand them, read them, and how to use them. All right. So anyway, going back to this, you can see that we are probably in the middle of the 3rd wave, which is over here. All right. Actually, we could be in the 3rd wave or the 5th wave. That's the thing about Elliott waves, is that it's really hard to understand exactly which wave count you're in. So here's wave 1, 2. This could be the big impulsive 3. Pullback of the 4 could be around this area right here. And then that 5th wave could take us all the way to maybe 10 or 12,000. Okay. Or if anything, we can say that the 3rd was right there. The 4th was right here. And we are actually now finishing off the 5th. All right. Now, let me actually make this intermediate. This is minuet, intermediate. There we go. Okay, so now that we look at this Elliott wave count, usually what happens after the 5-wave impulsive count is something called a ABC corrective wave, like this. A wave right there, B wave tries to reach up, and then C wave is a big sort of, capitulation-like drop, okay? If you look at this structure, look at how eerily similar it is to over here. Okay, now I haven't done the counts on this big impulsive move right here, but I bet you that this is the A wave right there, B is right there, and C is right there. But we didn't come out of the corrective move with an impulsive move. All we really did was we corrected more and more because it is part of a larger Elliott wave corrective count. So what I mean by that is, within Elliott waves, you can have even smaller Elliott wave counts. So within this right here, you can have 1, 2, 3 right there, 4 right there, and this could be your 5th. Okay, so you can see that. Let me make this minuet. Okay, or even minute. You can see that within this 3rd wave right here, we had another smaller count. Okay, and this is essentially the way Elliott wave works, all right? So in each sort of corrective wave structure right here, this corrective wave, you will have an A, B, C, okay? In the 3 wave right here, you'll have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So with that being said, with this 5th wave finishing off in the 10 to 12,000 area, once we sort of start seeing a break of this parabolic nature right here by price, that's when you're going to start seeing a big collapse in price action. Okay, and this is what typically happens, guys. Whenever you have a parabolic move like this, where you see price just sort of, rocketing straight up like that, you usually have hell to pay on the other end when price goes, straight up like this, and then it just reverses in that same fashion, comes back up, tries to reach up in that same area for that all-time high, and then comes back down again in an epic fall. All right, so that's why we have these ABC corrective waves. Okay. All right, so with that being said, once I would say prices reach around that 10 to 12,000 level, this is where I would probably predict that we're going to see the true FOMO in the market. Okay, and this is why I've been stating that that is the most likely area, maybe even higher, right? Say 14 or 15,000, right? Where people will try to short the market, but will eventually get crippled because price is just going to rip through their stops. All right. And then eventually what happens is the retail herd starts buying and FOMOing in. And this is where you might see some sort of sideways distribution happen where the smart money is actually selling out and waiting for the drop to rebuy in down here in this region right here. Okay. Maybe anywhere between the $5,000 to $7,000 region. All right. But for the most part, we are still waiting for that 10 to 12K target. And if you're a bear shorting this market, you're basically food for the bulls right now. Okay, shorting the market would not be wise. All right, maybe a confirmation of the B wave like this might be. You might want to short the B wave. All right. Okay. Let's go back over here, and I wanted to show you guys something that I've mocked up. This is a 3-day chart on BTC, and this is actually where the monthly and weekly pivots currently reside. All right. Now, both of these are broken, clearly, because we have prices currently at $8,700, which is well above the $8,200 close that we had in July, but it is well below the $9,600 close that we had in May 2018 right here. So this is why I state that the next target will probably be around 10K, because I would say that price is going to definitely reach for $9,600, but more than likely it may come to that psychological level and gravitate towards 10K. And then after that, I really see the next level being 12,000. All right. So 12,000 might be the real, finisher of this entire move that I spoke about with the Elliott wave count over here. Okay. So just something to keep in mind. All right. Now, people have been talking about how high the volume is and, everything looks so great and glorious in the crypto space. And listen, I'm going to be the first one to admit that this move caught me by surprise and caught pretty much everyone by surprise. All right. But here's the thing about volume. Okay. Understanding volume in the crypto space, it's like a maze, guys. It's truly hard to decipher because there's so many garbage exchanges, so many exchanges trying to ramp up wash trading and, generate fake volume to be able to attract more retailers, that it's just really hard to decipher what true volume is versus fake. So I went on to do some research by Block Crypto, and they actually talked about, what they found is 86% of trading volume looks fake. Okay. And again, you can read this deep analysis on their website, theblockcrypto.com. So this was one of the sources that talked about fake volume. And another one being, this was Bitwise, okay? Bitwise actually spoke about how they considered about 95% of volume being fake, all right? So essentially what we're really talking about, guys, actually, so you can read it right here. Even the TIE, which is another data platform, suggested that as much as 87% of the reported crypto trading volume was fake. Okay, so there's a lot of fake volume happening in this space. So what does that mean for you? Okay, so that means that you are going to have to do your best to trust reputable exchanges and trade on them. Some of them being, these right here. So let me show you guys some of the more reputable exchanges. Okay, let's find them. Okay, first things first, Coinbase Pro is definitely one of the more reputable exchanges. All right, so here's Coinbase right here. Bitstamp is next, Bitflyer, Gemini, ItBit, and then Poloniex. All right, and I would say probably Binance too. I think Binance is in this list too. I'm gonna sort of scroll up and let's see, it's up here. Binance, let's see where Binance is. Okay. Well, this was the list, by the way, of all the exchanges that reported their volume. And as you can see, Fcoin, which is some garbage exchange, I don't know, I think from London, reported a $1.7 billion exchange in volume. 95% of that was actually recorded to be fake. It's a real travesty in the space, which is trying to actually gain more credibility, where you have so much fake volume, so much arbitrage, so much wash trading and manipulation. There's no way you can pass an ETF or get the approval of the SEC for an ETF when you have such shady behavior in the crypto space. Okay, but anyway, you can read through this paper. I can't find exactly where it talked about fake volume, but the thing is, guys, you want to be careful. Okay, this is why I state that going to these small exchanges that have shit volume, it's going to be painful later down the road when you're trying to liquidate your assets or withdraw your money, or you're basically trying to get a sell order filled. All right, because again, it's easy to get a buy order filled because there's so many sellers, because they're also bots that are trying to ramp up the volume. All right, and they're basically trading against each other. The bots are just trading against each other because they want to show the falseness of showing people that, hey, there's a lot of activity happening on their exchanges. Prices are moving X percent, like 10, 20, 30% a day. So they want to attract you as a novice investor. This is why I state that you need to be careful on these smaller exchanges. Stick with some of the more credible exchanges that you find in this list. I'll let you guys do your own research to do that. But what I use typically is Binance and Coinbase Pro. And almost 70 to 80% of my money is on Coinbase Pro. Okay? So just keep that in mind, guys. I just wanted to mention that. Okay? So anyway, we spoke about, FOMO essentially hitting at higher prices. This is essentially where retailers are going to buy probably. And when we see that huge sort of surge in volume, Google searches are searching Bitcoin or crypto all over again like they did in 2017, I would say that might be the point to sell. Okay, that's at least where I'm going to sell. As for right now, here's what I have, in terms of my open positions. Okay, I've stated before that if you join our community, Cryptosomniac.com right here, you can go to products and sign up. You will get all this information that I tell my community every single day. Okay, I talk about what my open positions are, how I'm trading, what my capital invested in each position is, when I'm taking profit. As you can see, I closed 5% at 10.7% gain, close another 2.5% at 33% gain. I provide trade setups for you guys. None of this is investment advice, but I can do my best to show you guys what I'm doing in the crypto space that's yielding me, solid gains. So maybe you can follow. Okay, if you want, you can follow. If not, you can go find someone else in the crypto space, or maybe you can trade for yourself. But I do this because I love trading. I've been doing it for a while, and I'm consistently making money. Okay, and I can show you guys and prove that to you by our gains reviews right here. You can see in 24 hours, I just made 20%. You can talk about our other analyst right here, Jordan. Okay, EOS inverse head and shoulders, got out of it with good profit. Okay, ETC call 11.8%. And guys, these aren't like month old or 2017 reviews. These are just 2 or 3 days old. Okay, say May 24, 2019, 11% gain. All right, 12% on Link, May 22nd. Best decision he ever made for $99 a month. As you can see, Chris, 521. Okay, so you can see all these reviews, guys, and we're not making this up. I'm not paying these people to write these reviews for me, okay? These are just fantastic people in our community who love us and support us, okay? So I hope you guys come join. All right, let's keep moving, all right? Sometimes you do have to shill your channel a little bit, guys, because this is essentially how we make a living, right? We have bills to pay. We have to run the channel. You know, we have to pay our analysts. We have to pay our, you know, what it takes to keep our website alive, what it takes for marketing to stay alive. So, you know, and I take some money of that too, of course. Okay. So, you know, I just want to say that, yeah, I mean, it may seem like all I do is talk about my channel here and there, but guys, I provide a ton of information. I do this, I wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. every single morning and I provide analysis. Okay. You know, and throughout the day, I provide updates. All right, and I provide all these positions right here that people get into by using my trading experience, and make some money for themselves if they want to or not. All right, the best I can do is tell you that this is what I'm doing, and if you follow me, you may make some money. All right, I even have my long-term position stated. I'm a pretty open book, guys. I have nothing to hide. I don't see the reason to lead people into wrong paths of chasing, you know, 50, 100% pump and dumps. I go for the easy 5 to 10%. Okay, give me that every single day, and I promise you that you can become a millionaire in a year or two. Okay, chasing 100% or 200% pumps, I guarantee you that it will not get you there. More than likely, you'll probably go bankrupt. Okay. Anyway, back to our conversation. Still over here for the most part. This also kind of looks like a descending triangle right here. And as I've stated before, that when prices reach up into the descending triangle like this, they have a higher possibility and a probability of moving to the upside, because descending triangles, for the most part, are continuation patterns. Okay, and especially when prices reaches up into the descending triangle to create this, there's a 60 to 64% chance of a breakout. You can look this up on the Bulkowski website. All right. Okay, so we've spoken about all the bullish scenarios. Now let's talk about a bearish scenario. Okay, here's one of the analysis I did the other day. Let me see where it is. Actually, I think it was this one over here. So here's the Wyckoff distribution scenario that I had. All right. So in this schematic right here, and you can Google this, you just type in Wyckoff distribution schematic. What typically happens, guys, is usually there's a lot of, you know, sideways range trading in this area, and then you see an upthrust in price. Typically the upthrust is supposed to be fairly close above the buying climax, which is right here. But this one I placed a little bit higher because, you know, BTC moves so fast and so aggressively that I would say $1,000 move from here to up here is still not, you know, too far off. Okay, so usually you see an upthrust, and then you see a pullback back into the previous range where it was in this large trading range, right? Because remember that, you know, a few days ago, we were in this large sort of bull pennant right here, and we were trading anywhere between this low right here that happened, or rather even say this low at 6,900 to this high of 8,300. So we were essentially just moving sideways. But really what it was a big bull flag, bull pennant, right? But now if we were to assume that that was range trading, and then now this is the upthrust, and then we may come back down under 8,300, but then we go back up towards just poking out of 9,300, and then we come back down again. This is all distribution. This is textbook distribution, okay? But none of this has happened, okay? Even the upthrust cannot be validated until we hit a certain figure, right? Say 9,000, 9,500, or, well, it can't be 9,500. It's supposed to be fairly close. So that's why I stated 9,300, because it's $1,000 above this $8,300 area. Okay, so 9,300 is the max for the up thrust. So if prices come back down again to 8,200 or say, 7,900 in this region, then we may have some time spent in this area, up thrust again, double tops essentially, right? Because then it'll be this top right here and then this top right here, and then prices come back down. And this is the last point of supply, and then, sign of weakness, which is essentially showing you that there's lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then boom, you just get a quick dump off into that, 6,000 territory. Okay, you can read about this on my Cryptosomniac community in TradingView. All of the information is here if you want to understand how Wyckoff works, how distribution works, and how supply and demand analysis works. Okay, I took some time in writing this post, and I also compared it to this Nikkei Tokyo Stock Exchange, where in BTC, if we get to the 10 to 12K range, we might hit this sort of resistance right here, like the Nikkei Stock Exchange did in 2006 and 7, and then come back down to retest the previous lows. And for BTC, that might be about $3,100. Okay. I also showed a similar chart like that with gold, where if in BTC, again, if we hit 10 to 12K, you could see a big pullback almost to the 786 fib in gold, and then prices move up and away. Okay. So just something to keep in mind, guys. It's always important to have scenarios like this mapped out, because you never want to be too sure of yourself that prices are going to keep going higher and higher. This is usually where most traders get wrecked, okay? Because they become too confident in their position and they lose sight of, when things could go horribly wrong. All right. So anyway, guys, we spoke about a lot of things. We spoke about distribution. We spoke about, this fake volume that Block Crypto and Bitwise research has done. We spoke about how the monthly and weekly pivots have essentially been broken. The 1 hour and 4 hour charts clearly look good in BTC, as you can see with this descending triangle. The 5-wave impulse right here is still on its way to playing out. ABC corrective wave right here could essentially bring us down way back to the mid 5,000s, maybe even the mid 6,000 levels. Okay. We spoke about how, if the bears are essentially trying to short at every little step, they're eventually going to get wrecked, right? Speaking of that, let's check out where the shorts are in the bear territory. Okay, so you can see shorts over here. I mean, they do not even have the guts to keep shorting. This is really the critical level in shorts right here. They've been maintaining this level for quite a while now, actually. And every time prices hit this level, you can see that it's getting weaker and weaker. Eventually, what will happen is some of the people who still have some of their contracts in, which I highly doubt. I doubt there's, enough people right there that still have open short positions, with stops over, say, 8,900 or 9,000. But if they don't, they're looking to get wrecked, okay? Because eventually this region right here is going to get cracked, and you're just going to see a big capitulation in shorts, which ultimately means a rise in Bitcoin price, right? Because shorts have to cover their positions, and the way they cover is either by longs or by spot BTC, which will accelerate the price and drive it even higher. Okay. All right. One other thing that I did want to talk about is the altcoin market. All right, this is excluding BTC. So again, if you just want to type in total 2, you'll get the entire altcoin market, and it will exclude BTC. So if we look over here, guys, the total crypto market cap right now is about 262 billion. Okay, the total market cap excluding BTC is about 107 billion. So that means BTC accounts for about 140 to about 150 billion dollars right now. All right. Clearly, it is the king, right? You could see right here, based on total market cap dominance, BTC is currently about 59%. Ethereum is about 11, Ripple 7.2, Litecoins 2.7, EOS 2.8, and Bcash about 2.92. And then with the close, 6th or 7th place is Binance Coin and then Stellar. Okay, so a majority of these right here that you see in the color, these are really the ones that are essentially holding up a lot of this market cap. Okay, so I've stated before that, the coins that are going to do well with BTC are the ones that essentially have strong correlation with it. Okay, so if you go to coinmetrics.io, you can go on this website and then you'll see community data, network data, and correlation charts. Okay, you'll be able to sort of map out which coins have what kind of correlation with BTC. And I have been picking the ones that have the strongest correlation with BTC or as much of a negative correlation just as a hedge. Okay, so ETH, BCH is another one. Where's BCH? Right there. All right, so you can see anything between 0.8 and 1.0, that's a very strong correlation. All right, so you can see Ethereum, which is the blue line right here, has some of the highest correlation with BTC, meaning that as BTC moves up, Ethereum is more than likely to move up with it. Okay, we can even dig in deeper. You can see all of the month of April, Ethereum had almost a 0.81 or 0.87 rather correlation with BTC. So not only did it have a correlation, but Ethereum actually, and same with LTC, they actually both moved at a higher percent when BTC moved up a single dollar. So if BTC moved up $1, Ethereum would probably move up anywhere between $1.50 or $2. Okay, probably closer to $1.50. All right, so which is, in my opinion, a very positive sign because these alts are clearly benefiting off the move of BTC. All right, so the coins that have a direct fiat on-ramp like LTC and Ethereum and Bcash and even XRP and EOS now, right? Those are the ones that are truly going to be benefiting in this overall alt market cap moving up. The coins that are going to suffer are coins like this, okay? Coins like this are not going to do well, all right? For the most part, a majority of these are going to be retraced even further, in my opinion. They've already retraced down here, which was the 2018 lows, but they may even retrace even further, like way down here. Okay, I'm not stating that this is going to happen right away or anytime soon. It may be dragged out into the next year and a half, but I personally think that if BTC has to move up and wants to stay alive, shitcoins will not survive. They can't, because Bitcoin needs all the energy and even these right here. I mean, the coins that truly have use cases and have actual benefit of being in the market or being alive, those are the coins that you want to succeed anyway, right? I mean, I personally am not hating on Tron. I'm just saying that when you look at a chart like this coin looks like it's destined to fail over the next year. Okay, at least in terms of BTC Satoshi value, because if we're truly hoping that BTC at some point takes us to some of these highs, let's see where my chart is. I want to show you guys this chart. Okay, I mocked up this chart because I wanted to show everyone that here's my thought process of where I see BTC going. Okay, so here's sort of a 1 to 2 year projection that I have. And again, this is actually based off math that I did of previous bull cycles and how much each bull market has made in terms of percent. And if we map out previous bull markets to this one and even pulling that down to a certain degree, this is sort of how I see the next map of BTC over the next year or two. Okay, so in 2020 December, I actually see price of BTC somewhere around $80,000 to $85,000. Okay, in July or so, I see it somewhere between $9,000 and $10,000. Okay, but then eventually between July and November, I think there's going to be that big drawdown that I spoke about earlier. I think from here it's going to be something like this. Price is going to come back again. go over here again, but I think from here, there'll be sort of a sharp rebound, creating that W bottom. And then I think we'll reach really, really high, really fast, okay? Hitting that target of about 14,000 that I have here for November 2019. All right, so that's kind of how I'm seeing, this market play out. So anyway, point is, if we relate this movement right here of BTC to head up towards, previous highs, which is, about 20,000 right here, right around March of 2020, just before the halving, alts like TRX or, say even Nano, right? If we start looking at Nano, okay, you could see that these are essentially on a path to destruction, guys. I mean, they are hell-bent on essentially going down in Satoshi value because clearly, one, BTC is much stronger. Two, BTC is actually going up in dollar value, so these alts need to sort of maintain their dollar value. Okay, so that means they need to go down Satoshi value. Okay, so you can clearly see that most retailers or even bots or algos are getting smarter. They realize that alts for the most part are not making them as much money as BTC is, or even like these alts that I showed you that have direct fiat on ramps, or some of the more respectable coins like Binance Coin or EOS. Okay, and I say respectable in like air quotes because at least in the crypto space, these are far more respectable in my opinion than 98% of the garbage that's out there. Okay, I'm not saying Nano is garbage because I like Nano, but I'm saying that the chart just looks horrid. Okay, so in this case, Satoshi value will go down, but BTC US dollar value will consistently keep going up in this scale. So it has to happen in a way that majority of these alts will lose more and more Satoshi value because they'll keep their US dollar value because BTC keeps going up. Okay, but other alts are actually not even going to maintain their US dollar value, and they're going to be losing Satoshi value. So you're losing, in two different ways. Okay, so really ask yourself, is that what you want? Because I personally don't, right? So trade wisely, guys. Trade this market wisely. Stop going for the big, pump and dumps. Go for the coins that are truly going to be useful in the future, or just trade as best you can. If you don't know how to trade, come join the Cryptosomniac community, because if you're losing money consistently, you don't know how to trade, you FOMO into coins and then you lose money, or you're not making as much in terms of your gains, or you don't know how to do technicals, come join the Cryptosomniac community, guys. I promise you I will do my best to teach you everything that I know. All my knowledge and everything that I have is in this education section right here. I am very open and communicative with my entire community. Very active through the entire day, 12 to 16 hours a day. Okay, most people don't have time for that, right? But I do, and so does our other analyst, Jordan. All right, so if you've enjoyed this analysis, please give me a thumbs up, guys. We take time out of our day, our evening, to provide this, thorough analysis for you guys. And I hope it helps. I truly hope it does. I hope you make some wise decisions in investing or trading. So I hope to see you guys in the Cryptosomniac community. All right, take care, cheers, and have a wonderful evening.